Yo guys, what is up? Matt here with Matt Fishing. Back with a little video. It is the day before the tournament, so I'm gonna prep up, get everything ready to go, rig up my baits that I think are gonna be effective. So I'm just gonna take you guys through the process, grab what rods I'm gonna be using, what I'm storing, what I'm putting on the deck, stuff like that. I got some in here from practice. I got others behind me over there on the wall and stuff like that. So just gonna go through a bunch of my gear, get everything ready, make sure I got my net, my weigh-in bag, make sure I got all the baits I need, empty some storage, put some storage in. And yeah, very, very excited. It's been raining all day today, ice cold. Tomorrow's gonna be like a high of maybe 60 and bright blue skies. So hopefully these fish still move up into the shallow water, in that stained and dirty water. Sun's gonna be bright, it's gonna be warm for these fish when the sun's beating down. So hopefully I can still get them to bite. Power fishing, crankbaits, chatterbaits, and stuff like that, but we'll see. So let's go ahead, rig up, and let's see what we're going to use starting tomorrow. All right, first thing I'm going to keep inside the locker, not on the deck, is a drop shot for if I need to go fish that super clear water, some deeper stuff, some secondary points, and I'm really having trouble getting some of these fish to bite. I am going to bring the drop shot with me. I got a little Power Team lures and a little bit of pink. Smallies seem to really like this a lot. And I just fished this with the Ardent Bolt, and I got the Aaron's Edge Enigma drop shot rod here, a little finesse rod, maybe 8-pound test on this guy, I do believe, with like maybe an 8 to 10 inch leader right there. So that's gonna be rod number 1 going in the locker. Hopefully I don't have to grab this tomorrow, but it's there just in case. Here's a must-have combo for tomorrow. Got the Shimano Corrado 200 right there on a Powell 724 rod, and this is going to be one of my crankbait rods right here. This is a little medium diving wiggle wart in a red craw. Got a little bit of rattles, nice little rattling knocker sound. I'm going to use this in the clear slash stained water and the muddy water as well. This is definitely going to be one to have tied on for when I need to fish a little bit deeper. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to be targeting super deep water tomorrow. I really think I'm going for that stained water and that muddy water, and I think I'm going to just try to power fish, but that is going to be definitely a combo that I have on the deck. I'm going to have a couple different style crankbaits, which I'm going to show you, but there is one of the combos right there for tomorrow. Hopefully we can get bit like we were the other day in that bad boy right there. Alrighty, next bait here is going to be a mixture of a hair jig and a rubber skirt. If it's a little bit dirty water, a little bit cold, with a black and blue craw as a trailer right there, the little football head. I think that's going to do well around docks, dirty water, fishing around cover. Like I said, in some of this warmer, dirty water, the sun's going to be super high and bright. Hopefully, I can get this stuff right next to cover, you know, hidden into these cover, and maybe pick off a few big fish that way. Didn't fish this in practice, but I do think it's a must-have on the deck for tomorrow. And I just got that on a little Vengeance rod and a Tournament MG reel. I believe that's by Abu Garcia as well. So there's another combo. And yeah, I think I might be able to snag a couple good fish, and I can fish this, you know, over secondary points, fish this deep, shallow, cover, no cover, rock. I think that's just a good player to have for sure. Alrighty, next combo, you already know what it is. I actually didn't catch any on practice, but I didn't really fish this in the stained and muddy water. This is going to be the chatterbait, and I'm debating on whether if I'm going to just tie the Elite Evo on, the full size, or if maybe I'll just be sneaky and go with the Evo Mini Max. Something a little bit different. Maybe not a lot of people have got their hands on these little guys yet, so I'm thinking I might swap that out right away and do just the Mini Evo for a little sneaky red craw chatterbait style presentation in that stained and muddy water. Got that paired up with the Enigma HBT rod and the Daiwa Tatula 7-1 baitcaster right there. I think that's going to be a player. But yeah, I think I'm going to switch out this guy right here, and I'm going to put on the Mini Max. Alrighty, for my next combo, we're doing a little Tactical Bassin Dirty Jigs underspin gold blade with the Mooch Minnow from Crush City. Got that paired up on an Enigma HPT rod, 6'8", with a Shimano SLX baitcaster right there. This is a medium fast action, a good jerk bait, spinner bait kind of rod, top water. I'm doing 6/8 because I want to kind of fish this around some of the docks and tighter cover, so that shorter length lets me be a little more accurate. And that's going to be another one of our combos that we're going to be fishing. This is for more of the clearer water stuff and a little bit of the stained stuff. Not so much the dirty water, but more of that clear to stained water. Picked up a few decent fish on day 2 of practice with this guy. Day 1, I didn't have any luck. Obviously, I wasn't fishing the right spots or the right type of cover, but day 2, we made it happen. So that's going to be our second one. A little more finesse style, not so aggressive. And if the fish are a little bit tricky, since we've had a little bit of rain, some cold weather, just that little subtle boot tail on there, much smaller, tight wobble to it. I think that could be a key player. And like I said, guys, I'm showing you guys, but I'm retying everything I have on here. So I'm just showing you guys what I'm using, retying, re-rigging, and going through everything. So, all right, another rod that's going to go inside the Loud Rocker is going to be another Ardent spinning reel with my pal. Is this a 753? Yeah, 753. And this is going to be my strobe shaker minnow rig, or ball head minnow style rig right here. I'm going to have that in the back pocket. Again, this is going to be great around docks and stuff, and in some of that deeper, rockier bottom. Had a lot of success shaking this along the bottom, and this thing's just going along the bottom on those rocks, wobbling side to side like that as you move it. So this is definitely going to be in my rod locker. Like I said, hopefully I don't got to be throwing these in the clear water. Hopefully I can power fish in that stained water, but this is one definitely to bring along on my trip. Alrighty, my next combo is just going to be a little Ardent Apex baitcaster on an Ardent rod, and we got the Berkley Cull Shad in Gizzard Shad. You guys know I love my Gizzard Shad colors, and I think this is a perfect imitation. This is the 6-inch. Again, I'm going to be kind of fishing this guy around cover and stuff, fishing it shallow. Again, you know, we're pre-spawn fishing. You know, pre-spawn is going to be bigger forage, you know, nothing has spawned yet. They're really not focused on really tiny stuff. I'm going to have a couple tiny things rigged for super finesse fishing if I have to really slow it down and really go finesse to get some of these deeper clear water fish to bite. But when I think of pre-spawn, I think of bigger forage. So a nice 6-inch paddle tail swim bait I think could do really, really well. So this is going to be a bait that we have tied on as well, and hopefully becomes a player for some nice largemouth bass throughout the day. See if we can get some of those big pre-spawn largies that are moved up using dock for cover and forage and looking for a place to spawn. Hopefully we can get munch on that guy. That would be sick. Alright, next combo is another Shimano SLX on an Ardent Tournament Pro cranking rod right here. And I got another red flat-sided crankbait tied on is here. This is, I do believe, 13 Fishing. Little red craw, but it's got some really nice loud rattles to it there. The Wiggle Wart is a medium diver, more of a quieter knock. This one is a lot more loud. It's going to go a little bit more shallow, a little bit more tighter. So we are definitely going to have that guy tied on as well. I did throw baitfish style imitations from square bills to flat sides, just like this chicken magnet right here. I was not getting bit on these style ones, so that's why I'm sticking with the red craws and the craw patterns. I even got some baits laid out here that I'm thinking maybe I can do some deep water fishing. The big old live target craw here, I might be putting that on a deep cranking rod. I think a rattle trap could be key. I probably put this on a rod as well. I'm not sure what color yet. This is like a nice brown craw. I caught one in my second day of practice off of this, just yo-yoing it around some docks. So definitely thinking about doing something like that as well. But there's another combo right there. Nice flat-sided crank, nice loud rattles, really vibrant. Again, I'm going to be fishing that shallow and in that muddier water, not even that stained water. I'll probably save that for the Wiggle Wart. It's a little bit quieter, a little bit more subtle. But for that really muddy water I found, I'm going to throw this guy around and hopefully we can catch some big old largies on that guy right there. Of course, I got to have the jerkbait on here. Got the Ardent Apex Grand Xfinity Lose Speed Stick here. And then I got a I got a Livingston Lures jerkbait tied on. in like a pro blue, real natural. Put this holographic tape on the side here just to give it a nice flash. See if I can draw some attention that way. Pull some fish that are suspending, that are, you know, moving up, but they're not moved all the way in. Hopefully I can draw attention to those fish with this really nice high flash. Again, that's just a holographic style tape. Just stuck it on there. Looks really, really nice. And hopefully that could be a sneaky little bait too. Already up next, going through some of my rattle traps, deciding what I want to do, what brand, what type, 1 knocker, 2 knocker, rattles, etc. Certain types of red craws. Baitfish, like I said, really hasn't been working out, so I'm just going with a good old classic red eye shad and a red craw. That super high pitched sound for that dirty water will help these fish locate it. I was thinking about like the Excalibur in Rayburn Red right here, that 1 knocker, but I'm thinking that's a little bit more subtle, good stain and clear water. It's not as loud and for the fish that are more finicky, so I will think about that. But I think, like I said, I really fishing this dirty water is the only time I'm getting bit on hard bait style stuff. I fished the clear water and they were not having any type of hard baits. I had to go to soft plastics and soft baits to catch those clear water fish. Slightly Stained was working with the wiggle wart and stuff, but not the rattle traps that I was using, besides that one smallie off a dock in like 12 feet of water, but I don't consider that very deep. So red eye shad and red craw, got the Carbon Fire speed stick on there, and another Ardent Apex Tournament Series reel right there for the combo. Here's a must-have all year round. It's going to go in the locker. Is the Carolina rig. Got it on a big Enigma setup here. I don't even remember what type this one was. The Phenom Titanium series. Enigma rod and reel combo. And I got a Kitech like crazy flapper on here as a trailer because it has those nice appendages, so it's going to move a lot of water on the bottom there when I'm dragging it, kicking it. Again, good craw imitation for the springtime. Kind of like a sprayed grass, so a little bit of stained and clear water. I think this will be good, and it's definitely one to always have on the boat at all times. Obviously this changes throughout the year, but springtime, something with a good amount of appendages, anything that kind of represents a craw, dragging it along those rocks, I think this will do good as well if we need to slow it down and fish those secondary points and, you know, those ledges and stuff like that. That'll be a go-to if it comes to that point. We're hoping it doesn't, guys. And my last little combo is going to be the little BFS rod and reel combo. I got the Arc BFS reel, the Gravity, and the Dobbin Sierra series right here. Just have a little net ed on there right now with a little black and blue craw. I'll change that probably as I go along. But I was catching a few fish on this as well in the stained-ish water. But obviously if I go clear or something, I'll switch to something green pumpkin, and I'll probably stay with the craw pattern, but switch between the craw and the worm. But I'll keep the black and blue on for now. I think that'll do good. And yeah, that's my tournament prep, guys. I'm just going to clean the stuff up, figure out what rods and reels I want on the deck to start. Like, I think I'm just going to power fish, so I'm going to have a lot of my crankbaits, chatterbaits, the big swim bait, the underspin, and probably keep the jig on the deck to as I'm power fishing or whatever, if I need to slow down, or if I'm catching some fish, flip that darker color bait around the docks and stuff like that and see if there's any big ones lurking down there. So yeah, that's pretty much my prep, guys. I got to get my net off the wall there, my weigh-in bag, just go through everything here, clean all this up, got all my baits, got everything ready to go. So yeah, tournament starts at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Like I said, it's going to be a high, like maybe 58 to 60. I think maybe 10 to 15 mile an hour winds. Not too bad, but bright blue skies. So it's going to be super sunny. Today it thunderstormed all day. I think the rain is done now. So I probably dirtied up the water a little bit more. I don't think it really is going to cool it off anyway, because it's still 57 to 60 degrees, maybe 56 to 60 degree water temperature. So obviously it probably did cool it down a little bit, but I don't think enough to mess with any pattern that I figured out over practice. I don't think it's going to change too much. I do think the bright blue skies should in my experience, it should help the bite out big time, especially fishing shallow water, power fishing, the way that I want to do this tournament. So things don't always go to plan, but yeah, super excited, guys. Appreciate you guys watching. Obviously, when you guys are seeing this, the tournament has already been over, so we'll see how we do. But I'm super excited to get out there, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. First tournament of the year for 2025, April 26th. Let's get after it, baby.